Chat, here we go. It's Atow versus Juicy, a nice 1v1 show match. We actually were trying to get Juicy on for a 1v1 match not long ago. It ended up turning into the few 2v2 matches that we got a couple streams ago, or maybe that was the last stream that we did, that had Zen and Exotic and Juicy and Radosin and Vatira and Drowley, but we got Juicy back for the 1v1. He is currently rated 14 in the world, as this is such a insane flip cancel flick from Atow, and Juicy trying to stop it, ends up dropping the ball back down. That was actually a nutty play to start. But we got to continue with the intro, which is to say that Juicy has been playing some ones. He is, I think, number 14 in the world on the leaderboards right now. Probably means he's pretty close to number 14 EU as well, because the players who play on EU servers are usually the ones up there. There's going to be, I think, AJ and First Killer. Maybe there's a couple NA players, but for the most part, it's usually packed full of EU players. A little bit easier to get MMR over there, but Atow is going to be taking down Juicy, who might have a lower ranked MMR, but probably a higher show match and tournament MMR than Juicy, and we'll see if that'll be enough to take him down in this RLCS offseason. I've started to see a ton of players not only dabbling a little bit in ones, but a ton of YouTubers. Have you guys noticed as well that all of a sudden YouTube is incredibly active again? There's tons of videos from pros, and if you weren't paying attention, you would definitely know it's off season now, because everybody's getting back into the content game. Not just YouTube, but also Twitch, which is fun to see. Hopefully we can keep people, you know, involved in streaming all the time, but I understand it's quite the commitment during the actual RLCS season. Tell us about the Shopify tournament. Yeah, so for those of you maybe tuning in on the YouTube as Atow goes for the ceiling pinch, you probably didn't hear us mention anything about the Arm the Rebels 1v1 tournament that Shopify is doing. They're doing $1,000 weekly for both NA and EU, and it's winner take all, 16-person single elimination. So that's what I know. I don't know anything outside of that. I'm going to help stream it, and the tweet that announced it said that basically all of Chalkcast, myself, and Hootie will help stream it. I don't know what they're going to have me doing in terms of which matches, but I did mention that we'll probably watch party here on the Twitch stream for all the games, whether we get to stream them or not. So for those of you on the YouTube, you might not get to watch every single match back because we don't really put the watch parties up on the YouTube, but just another reason to go check out the Twitch and get to be one of those very exclusive chatters. Juicy up 2-1 against Atow, who is live. I mentioned this before the match started, but if you guys want to check out Atow POV, he's been doing a ton of streaming. I talked about how players have been streaming more. Well, Atow is streaming more. He's got a no cam, no mic stream going. And the reality is, you know, if nothing else, I don't see why pros just don't do no cam, no mic streams way more often. Because Atow, he does a good mix. He'll bring his mic on. He'll even put his camera on. He did a bunch of Elden Ring, I believe it was. A nice shot from Juicy. Did some Elden Ring streams, but you might as well, when grinding Rocket League, make a little content out of it for very little extra work. Great finish from Juicy. Thank you for the 100 bits. Why'd you end predictions 5 minutes before the match started? I did not make the prediction or end it. So you have beef with the mods. So mods, you nuke the complainer. I think it's quite clear what to be done with them, even though they gave 100 bits. Atow, not one to be held to a single goal over the course of 3 minutes very often. And very interesting movement from him here to recover back to make this save. Has a chance on a hook shot. If he keeps this high, it's going to be tough for Juicy to deal with. But he does go for a bit of a soft play and a double as opposed to just kind of powering. I felt like Juicy was in a position where he was having to panic recover, and any strong shot would have, he would have been able to save it, but he would have had a tough time afterwards on any sort of follow-up. Juicy chasing Atow down as 10 gifted subs get dropped in the chat. W's for Paradox C137. Juicy Gonna put in a goal for Paradox, as Juicy recognizes that the midfield boost is not important if he can just land and take a shot on net. Atow gonna have to lock in here against a Juicy who has come prepared in this 1v1 match. In fact, the last 2 matches that Juicy has played, one against Feer and one against Lost, were both wins. So Juicy doesn't play, you know, too many 1v1 show matches. What a pre-flip shot. Juicy with a great placement. Atow is ready to go next. He is going to have to watch this again so everyone can see what it looks like from Atow POV. But that is such great placement around Atow and to keep it inside the post. Now we will end it as another 10 gifted subs come in. Paradox, thank you so much. The chat getting some love from Paradox C137. Hoff, thank you for the Prime for 8 months. Prime until full time, keeping the dream alive. Juicy gonna go for a pinch, little camera check to see where Atow was at, if he's gonna try and chase him down. Air dribble does not, or sorry, air dribble defense from Juicy does not make contact. As Atow pulling off the ball, he didn't even really see Juicy in his camera. He was mostly just turning to get the reset. Vacanus donated $100. Something tells me he wants that to be a prize pool for this match, even though it did not come with any message. I'll make sure these guys know that there's a $100 prize on this best of 5 as soon as the next goal goes in. Not to throw anybody off too much. Juicy, nice beat. He should be able to tap this one in, courtesy of Vacanus. Oh, it was a $100 Donger J. Oh, I see. I didn't realize that he was donating for an emote because we can't be bought in that way. Atow scoring quickly off the kickoff. World Be Free dropping 1 bit to make it $100.01. Unfortunately, we cannot have bits go to prize pool donations. So I am going to be scamming you and taking that 1 cent directly to the bank. Thank you very much. Atow, air dribble wave dash. And already he's tripled his scoring in the first minute after forfeiting early. Not being able to find any offense. Juicy was going to go in and out. And Atow went underneath. Atow staying pretty aggressive off kickoff despite not having any boost. Wants to go for the goal line 50. And I'm DCing. Oh, they're DCing. Or the server's DCing. Oh no. Yeah, I'm DCing. The fiber. The fiber was supposed to save us, chat. Alright, I don't have admin anymore. They played it out. We're back. It's 6-4. Atow in the lead. I should have joined party match as soon as Juicy joined. I wasn't sure what we were going to do. Seems like they played through the DC, which is fine. And so now we're going to have a slight gap in our recording for the YouTube video. But so could you believe that I have fiber, chat? I don't know what that was. This is the first time we've ever had any real hiccup from fiber. Or since we got the fiber. Oh man, we're doing it again. That's crazy. Luckily, you can just keep watching on Atow's stream, because I think he has been able to play consistently through it. We should be back now. And that looks like a nice shot from Juicy, so we get back just in time. Juicy leaning back into a reset before flicking past Atow. Back but gray screen. Interesting. It should be Twitch's fault at this point. Should be able to refresh. I can type that in chat for anyone who is gone. Yeah, the fiber internet should have fixed all of this. I'm not sure whether or not to risk it and run out the rest of the match after this game, or if we can just maybe restart the PC real quickly. I bet you have Comcast. I don't. I don't. Quantum fiber. Those are the new targets to get mad at. Atow looking for a incredibly aggressive back wall double off the ceiling. Juicy needed that. He needed to hit that wide open net if he was going to try and bring this one back, and not connecting probably does secure Atow's equalizer in this series. Yeah, Quantum is not nearly as funny of a name as Cox is for when it's messing up, but what can you do? Atow taking this into his back corner, sees the Juicy challenge, and completely leaves the ball. I mean, Juicy decides he doesn't want to go to a goal replay, though. Down 4. He knows it's over. Game number 2 going to go to Atow, and we better hope the fiber does its job. Zukosi, thank you for the 11 months of Prime. Prime until internet finally doesn't kill us. Take back admin? Yeah, I shouldn't have admin anymore. Now that they're a party lead. I don't know if they have to make me party lead or whatever so I can get it back, but no early forfeits for the rest of the series in this Atow versus Juicy matchup. Hopefully, we got the last of our fiber hiccups. It has been really, really good since we've got it installed. Basically 0 issues, which makes me feel confident that we could be okay. Atow booming a clear the length of the field. He has been very consistently trying to pre-jump all of Juicy's attacks. This time, soft touch after the in-and-out save to control the ball. Backflip to make Juicy miss. And this is the easiest double for Atow in his life. The people who put points in on a prediction, the prediction is still live, whether the stream is live or not, so no scamming there. They'll still be able to get paid out based on who wins. As Juicy takes this into the corner and tried to fake the wave dash behind the ball. Atow still makes contact. And a demo at ceiling height. Atow has been known to play the demo game in 1v1, but not often is he grabbing them all the way up at the ceiling. This time he does, in order to get a second goal and take the lead. Juicy double jump intercepted by Atow before he could get a clean bump. And he's actually trying to stay on this ball, go for the double. Can't put it on target, but does get a boost grab and can keep the offense going. Flipping out of the corner. Did not get the underside of his car on the ball to get a reset, which is what he would have needed to try and create something out of that possession. As Juicy going to be denied the opportunity to go up the wall. In fact, instead, it'll be Atow who's pinching at the length of the field. It's not going to go in without a bounce, but still an impressive pinch as a way to counter what was supposed to be a Juicy setup. And is now a 3-1 lead for Atow. Big kickoff win for Atow. Juicy going to stay on the ball. Atow waiting patiently, knowing that eventually Juicy's going to be forced to leave, that he will get his clean possession. And right now, Juicy's trying to prove him otherwise by staying on ball constantly. Has a fake flick and a low 50. So a little bit too much patience from Atow. And Juicy keeping that dog in him, never giving up on the play, despite playing off of maybe 2 or 3 pads that whole time. Atow half flipping off the kickoff. Juicy is going to take it into his back corner. Early read. Atow was at ceiling heights. And I'm not sure if that affects Juicy and what he goes for or not, because he just puts a dribble straight into the ceiling and lets it fall way short of the net. And Atow going to clean it up turn it into a goal of his own. Atow, wall to air dribble denied. As Juicy pinches it away, strong but straight down the side wall. Does not bounce on target as Atow leaning back off the reset after he heard the pre-jump. Tried to go underneath, but Juicy doing great to adjust back down. You see him pre-jumping and floating, but not continuing up. And falling right back down to the ground with Atow. Juicy. Sidewall setup, passing to himself off the ceiling. Gets a reset, slows the ball down, and that ends up getting him a goal. Atow had it timed well to stop any sort of aggressive shot. Even if Juicy gets the reset and shoots at the net, Atow's going to be there. But Juicy just slows it down and makes it so Atow's timing is completely off. And instead, it falls in behind him to tie the game. Juicy trying to force a kickoff goal and does. Pretty impressive save from Atow to pin it on the crossbar before the follow-up. But it's a goal all the same. Here at wave dash kickoffs, Atow dashing quicker to get back into his own corner. But Juicy closing that distance and taking the ball away. Now we saw a failed dribble attempt from the back wall earlier, but this time he's going to try and make it the whole length of the field. He actually went for a similar slowdown on his reset and knew he was in trouble after that. Was not going to be able to recover. So Juicy going to need to clean up his full field attack if he wants to keep using it. Right now, it's been in favor of Atow. He's going to try a half flip kickoff. And Atow not taking it back into his back corner. Instead, tries to shoot to beat Juicy. And even though he doesn't score on the first, he should absolutely be scoring on the next after bumping Juicy and retaking the lead. Juicy thought he could hide up the side wall. You see him reversing to try and stay away. But Atow still finds a way to connect. And now heavy delay kickoff. An Atow special. Ball chips too high for an immediate shot. And now getting undercut. Still has his flip to dash once he finally gets his wheels on the ground. Juicy lobbing this one away, but there's really nothing he can do with 26 boost. He is going to just have to back off. Atow gets a reset and actually plays it directly into Juicy. Decided not to fake. Juicy was there to stop it. Atow early reset, uses the flip right away and ends up scoring off of it. I want to watch it from Juicy's perspective to see how he was lining up. I think he just didn't expect the shot to come so soon, because those dribbles, especially after they get a reset, oftentimes are slowly taken towards the net and then the flip is used. Juicy felt like he had some time, but Atow changing the pace, using that reset immediately to rush the ball to the net. Now playing a bit of keep away as he tries to cut it back into his corner. Juicy, the goal line 50, wants to cut this back on target after taking the corner boost, but isn't able to. Atow not going to turn on this ball. Juicy double jump, lean back 50. Can he get this ball to a shootable position before the Atow recovery? Doesn't seem like it, but he's popped it straight up in the air. The follow-up for Juicy is in. And so patience around the nets. Never going all in on any one of these attempts. Making sure he's sticking around. He creates an opportunity to backflip and send it up to the top of the arena and back down. 20 seconds. Big kickoff win for Juicy. He is not going to go for the attacking boost. Instead, he's going to shoot right away. And Atow tried to chase him down to bump him, but it did not work out. It's another... Oh, no, it's not. What is Atow doing here on the kickoff? Just no jumping and going so far wide of the ball, just allowing Juicy to send it right over the top of him. Must have been something Atow meant to do, but he felt like the follow-up was going to be, you know, more in his favor, because you're very likely to lose it from that position. Juicy, is he going to try and win the game on one of these full field dribbles once he's having trouble with earlier? Atow makes the save on the first one. Doesn't have a ton of boost to try and shoot on this, so Juicy will just tap it to the ground, and we'll have overtime in a pivotal game number 3. Juicy going to steal the back corner boost instead of taking the midfield because he wants Atow on as little as possible. But Atow, pathing over many pads, should have more than enough. In fact, he's going to back all the way off. But that's going to give Juicy a ton of space, and he will throw a game winner. We saw Juicy earlier staying involved in the play on 0, making sure to never give Atow space. Attow's going to do the exact opposite. He just swings super wide, says, Juicy, do whatever you want. And what Juicy wants to do is flick it past him for a Game 3 win. Game number 4. $100 on the line, courtesy of Vacanus. I'm not sure if we put that in the title or not, but we should, because it makes it that much juicier. Atow flick to open game number 4, and a must-win game for him. Atow going to take this dribble straight in the air. Juicy's just waiting on the goal line for him to eventually shoot, and he will, but he'll do so off the bounce and place it top shelf. What should Atow have done differently there? Are you talking about at the end of the last game? In high-level ones, especially these really high-level lobbies, for the most part, you cannot afford to give either one of these guys full space, full time, full boost, because they're too good, and they just do way too good of a job scoring when given all the time in the world. So you want to chase the ball down as best you can. Obviously, sometimes you're out of boost, and the situation does not call for chasing down. You do have to leave. But I don't know if that was necessarily the case for Atow, who swung incredibly wide, as far as he possibly could have, after Juicy went into the corner and picked up his own back corner boost. I think he could have been more effective staying on the ball. Here he's showing some aggressive defense as he rises up to the ceiling in order to just steal away Juicy's dribble, and then eventually gets his goal to make it 3-0. Atow. See, there's an example. I mean, it's not the perfect example, but Juicy losing the midfield race and staying on the ball, doing his best to disrupt Atow before the shot. Is he going to find a way to make this save? A flip into the net. It's going to be pretty impressive. Juicy was on 0 boost. It was a decent recovery. Atow went to ceiling height, but he wasn't going to have enough boost to get there and score without returning to the ground. Juicy, low 50, a demo, and a goal. What is the meaning of Raquel and Atow's name? I actually don't know. I think chat told me once, but I forget. Atow saw Juicy was going to go up off the side wall and dash his way up to the ceiling to prep for that. Dunked it away, but it is still Juicy's ball, although this is not an easy position to play out of if you're Juicy. Having to drop down off the back wall. A pogo shot is not a bad way to handle it. Even though it doesn't score, it does force Atow to make a save and push him into net, which pretty much no other shot would have done. And now Juicy can try and extend the possession a bit more. Juicy challenged early as Atow steals away the dribble. So many players in 1v1 are afraid to be aggressive like that in the air. There's tons of players who will chase you down and steal away your possession right away when you have it on the ground. It can be a hard thing to do up in that extra dimension up in the air, but Atow seems to have no hesitations at all in taking away Juicy's dribble whenever he can. Now Juicy rolling around the ball before the reset shot. Atow is able to deny it. Juicy will punish the boost pickup here from Atow. If we go to Atow POV, he could not afford to go that far out ahead of the ball. Juicy gets around it, gets a goal. It's been a couple different times that Atow's gone for boost over ball and has been punished, but He has clearly been trying to play at max speed. Oh, almost perfection from Juicy. So he just needed to hold on to that flip a moment longer in order to get the shot underneath the crossbar. Juicy again off the back wall, this time not using a ton of boost. Isn't really entertaining the idea of going the length of the field. Atow came back. He was going to go steal the attacking corner. Decided against it. Juicy still got his pinch. It just wasn't on target. And now Atow has scored a few times this way. The backflip flick to get the opposition to miss. He dives in. And Atow lobs it up. 5-2. Atow trying to force a game 5. Holding a 3-goal lead with 1:21 left to go. Atow shadowing, waiting here at the midfield for Juicy to start his dribble. Does intercept it and pick up his own back corner, but Juicy will just start again. This time kills what could have been a pop-up. You see Atow pre-jumping, almost prepping for Juicy to chip the ball in the air. But it ends up rolling as Juicy doing his best to try and break through. Atow on the back line. He's done such a good job of being able to defend with very little. And he'll get a long shot to make it a goal of his own. Just a 1-2 touch off of a little more than one pad. Juicy too busy trying to steal the hundreds. 30 seconds left to go. Juicy still, in theory, has a chance. This definitely needs to be a goal here. And there you go. Juicy might be struggling starting dribbles from the back wall, but when he starts them from the ground, just in front of the back wall, he has no issue at all. What a great finish. 113 km/h flick. And now he needs 3 kickoff wins. Atow getting around the side of the ball on this diagonal kickoff does give Juicy a chance here, although Atow will cover it. And that is probably a game-ending save, considering Juicy had to take that shot on low boost. It should just be Atow's, but he did kind of give it back here. He should be fine. We are headed to Game 5. Atow versus Juicy. $100 on the line. All comes down to the next 5 minutes. It's about 8 minutes with goal replays. Game 5, Atow is going to open it up with a half flip on the kickoff, and Juicy reads it early again to take it into his back corner. Atow is pre-jumping, I would say. I think that's the way to describe how he's been moving in defense without the ball. He's not just pre-jumping, he's up so incredibly early, it almost feels like there's no way he can even stay that high. He's going to have to come back down, and then it doesn't even really do much to dissuade Juicy from playing in the air. But it's something he's stuck with the whole series. Juicy's going to open the scoring in Game 5. Wave dash hug at the midfield. Atow popping the ball straight up. Trying to see if he can force it in. And now will he stay around on 0 or will he back off? He's going to go to the midfield. Wanted to turn in, but Juicy did a good job of getting the ball up in the air quickly. Not allowing a challenge. Now these two playing chicken as the ball falls to the ground and Atow loses. Who's going to go up for it first? Juicy felt good about winning the race to the ball. Atow thought he could maybe just, with his presence, intimidate Juicy into retreating, but that's not the way it worked out. Juicy into the back corner. Atow gets intercepted. Forced to play defense on a pad. Juicy faked and went low, but Atow actually still covers it and able to pick up his own corner. Again, he runs out ahead. This time, not really to grab boost, more to steal boost and keep Juicy low. And that's going to be a much wiser decision than when he's trying to grab boost in different situations. as he is able to turn right back on the play, and now Juicy left starving. It actually convinced Juicy to try and turn in and make something out of what was not going to be a great possession in the first place, which added to the advantage for Atow. Atow on 0, chaining a couple dashes together to try and create a shot. Juicy going to flick from behind the midfield line at ceiling heights. Very rarely is that going to be able to score. Just so much time for Atow to adjust and make the play. Atow shot off the ceiling, not taking this slow. He has caught Juicy out again. You see Juicy dropping the nice shot. So often in ones, these setups are really slow. They lead to long dribbles, resets that happen near the goal line. But Atow making sure to sprinkle in just immediate shots as well to catch Juicy out of position. Kickoff going to go in favor of Juicy, despite Atow technically being the one to put it on target first. Is not really threatening, and Juicy's is much more. Atow makes the save, though, and will counter it to take the lead. Just a little F? My side said there was no F. I wonder if Twitch had some problems. Juicy kickoff goal to equalize. Another wave dash hug. Juicy thrown off on his landing because of it. Atow just going to boom the ball. And Juicy will double it to clear, but should not be able to get back to it. Did threaten Atow again to try and convince him to boom the ball away, and this time it will work. Juicy controls it into a possession of his own. Dribble out of his back corner. Reset, wave dash, and essentially deciding to bail and just accept a boost steal on that attack. Now has himself a decent position. If he can get a quick shot, Atow would have been unable to make the save, but he ends up pushing it back down to the ground, where Atow does get a piece of it, but he's still very low on boost. Atow, yeah, another save. Can he continue to survive? He has a pad to work on. He's going to challenge, and he does. Atow, I would say, is out of the woods. He's still not in the best position, but he did stop that attack. He's actually going to have to defend against an air dribble now. Maybe I called it too soon. I did. All right, I called it a moment too soon. He did get the ball out to midfield, but it was still boost advantage Juicy, and he will dribble 3/4 of the field before finishing the reset top right. Still an impressive bit of defense there from Atow on the goal line with very little. He's going to go take a trip to the boost and have to stare at a 2-goal deficit now. Juicy doing a good job recognizing that Atow is trying to play at maximum speed, which includes reading out boost way more often than he should. Juicy not going to get the spawn here. Sends the power shot. Oh, what a bounce off the post. Atow to control it. That was a pretty greedy attempt from Atow because his recovery is going to be miserable if he doesn't get the beat. And that means a free Juicy possession, whose reset shot is off the post and in. Juicy is clutching up here in the final minutes to extend the lead to 3. Atow not able to read the reset shot from Juicy, and he needs some kickoffs in his favor. Juicy trying to make this his 3rd consecutive Showmatch win. I'm not sure if he won one before the recent 2 that happened around some major, but it could be a little bit more than a 3-game or 3-match win streak, if so. But 2 goals in 46 seconds is very possible for Atow, who unfortunately, though, did not get the kickoff possession. Now demoed. Juicy could waste a lot of time here by not rushing the ball back, but he is going to chip it up into the air. Lean back for a reset. Missed his flip, so now Atow on 21 boost should be able to put enough on it that there will be no recovery. So Juicy all the way down to the wire, staying aggressive. Will it be something he regrets? I think a lot of that will be based on how this kickoff goes. Delay kickoff from Atow. Heavy delay. He's used that in so many situations to tie games just like this, but it's not going to work this time. Stopping right as he gets to that final boost pad, but it gets dunked over the top of him. He's going to do it again. He says, why not? It's worked for me before. I'm just going to go again. But Juicy reads it again. He says, no, stop doing your delay. There's the GGs from Atow. I think Juicy is jumping into the ball and flipping really late as a way to counter. Do we have a pogo from Juicy in the last 17 seconds? He's pretty good at pogos. But Juicy was reading those. You know, he was single jumping into the ball and then using his flip after, which is not what you do normally. Under, hey, count it. Count it. I'll wait and see if he wants to do one more because he's pretty good at him. Nope, he doesn't. That's fine. GG's. Juicy. Taking it. We don't have admin, so we have to wait out the 8 seconds. $100 from Vacanus. Going to Juicy. Fear Pogo? Ah, I was just about to. Yeah. No, I was just about to. Mine would have been sick, too.